a very warm welcome to the Question Hour show from the Parliament House complex, the show where we bring you important unstarred questions asked by the members of the upper house during the current session, which is the 250th session of the Rajya Sabha, and the response given by the government in written format. I'm Kriti Mishra, and joining me is my colleague Rajat Kain.
Hello and welcome to the brand new edition of this unique program on Rajya Sabha TV.
So Rajat, let's take our viewers through important questions and answers in this edition. So the first question that we've picked up has been asked by member Amar Shankar Sable, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Jal Shakti. And Mr. Sable has asked about the target date for completion of National Rural Drinking Water Programme, along with the reasons for the slow pace of its implementation, especially in Latur in Maharashtra.
Well, Kriti, it's a very important question given the drought and the history of drought in Latur district. In its reply, the Minister apprised the House that under National Rural Drinking Water Programme, which is coterminous with the 14th Finance Commission, that is up to 31st March 2020, the coverage was monitored in terms of fully covered habitations, that is provisions of minimum 40 litres per capita or per day of potable water with sources at reasonable distance. As reported by State of Maharashtra as on 27th November 2019, out of total 1180 rural habitations in Latur, 922 rural habitations, that is 78.13% of the area, are FC. That means fully covered, and the remaining habitations are partially covered, that is getting less than 40 litres per capita per day of potable water. In a supplementary reply, the ministry said as per NRDWP guidelines, states are required to prepare district-wise drinking water security plan, and a toolkit for preparation of same was circulated by Government of India in the year 2015, that is 4 years ago.
In fact, member Amar Shankar Sable joined us on the Question Hour show, and here's what he had to say on government's response. Take a listen. And joining us on the Question Hour show is questioner and member of the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Amar Shankar Sable. So welcome to Rajya Sabha Television, and thank you so much for talking to us. You've asked a very important question on National Rural Drinking Programme. What is your take on government's response?
गवर्नमेंट ने रिस्पांस अच्छा दिया है. गवर्नमेंट का नेशनल रूरल ड्रिंकिंग वाटर प्रोग्राम बहुत ही अच्छा है. हर गांव में और हर घर में पोर्टेबल पानी पहुंचाने की ये गवर्नमेंट की बहुत महत्वाकांक्षी योजना है. इसके तहत पूरे देश में मोदी सरकार की बहुत अच्छी है पहल है और उसके ऊपर बहुत अच्छा काम हो रहा है. तो मैंने राज्यसभा सदन में महाराष्ट्र के लातूर ज़िला की बात उठाई थी, जो बहुत अकालग्रस्त वो ज़िला है. पिछले दफ़ा उस ज़िला में रेलवे टैंकर से पानी बाहर से मंगवाया गया था. इतना अकाल पड़ा था, उसके संदर्भ में मैंने मुद्दा उठाया था. और अभी 78% वहाँ फुल्ली कवर्ड एरिया है और उसके मुताबिक बहुत अच्छा काम हो रहा है. लेकिन मैंने सरकार से प्रार्थना की है कि हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट वाइज उस पानी का नियोजन होना चाहिए. ये मैंने मांग उठाई थी और गवर्नमेंट ने मान लिया है कि हर डिस्ट्रिक्ट का अलग अलग प्लान बनेगा और उसके मुताबिक हर ज़िला, हर गांव और हर घर में पीने का नल के माध्यम से पानी देने की योजना ये गवर्नमेंट बहुत बेहतर तरह से आगे इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश कर रही है.
सर, जैसा कि आपने कहा कि कई तरह की स्कीम्स हैं, नल से जल, जल जीवन मिशन, लेकिन चैलेंजेस क्या देखते हैं और किस तरह से इम्प्लीमेंट करें, खासकर महाराष्ट्र में, क्योंकि लंबे समय से सूखे की परेशानी रही है?
देखो, जहाँ फुल्ली कवर्ड एरिया है और नॉन कवर्ड एरिया है, इसके तो अलग अलग प्रश्न है. लेकिन फिर भी पानी के सोर्स टैप किए जाएंगे और महाराष्ट्र में जलयुक्त शिवार नाम की एक योजना चलाई थी और गांव-गांव में पानी का पानी स्टोरेज कैपेसिटी बढ़ाई गई है. इसके कारण ज़मीन से वाटर लेवल जो बड़ी है उसे टैप करके हर गांव में पानी की पीने की समस्या छूट जाए, इस पर गवर्नमेंट काम कर रही है और मुझे आशा है जो नेशनल रूरल ड्रिंकिंग वाटर प्रोग्राम है वो बेहतर काम करेगा और कम समय में हर गांव में और हर घर में नल का जल आएगा.
Thank you so much for giving us those inputs and joining us on the Question Hour show. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Well, the next question was by the member KJ Alphonse, and he sought a reply from Ministry of Commerce and Industry. His question was the reasons for not signing RCEP to be stated by the ministry.
Well, India decided to opt out of RCEP negotiations, and this decision is likely to benefit millions of Indians. And in this response, the government says that during the third RCEP Leaders Summit, which was held on 4th of November 2019 in Bangkok, India stated that the current structure of RCEP did not fully reflect the RCEP guiding principles or address the outstanding issues and concerns of India, in light of which India did not join the consensus. While RCEP was intended to provide mutually beneficial outcomes for RCEP countries, including India, the current structure did not adequately address the ambitions and concerns of India's stakeholders. Moving on to the next question that has been asked by member A.K. Selvraj, and this one pertains to the Ministry of Railways. And Mr. Selvraj has asked whether it is a fact that Railways have linked its locomotives via ISRO satellites, making it easy to track trains and automatically feed the control charts about trains' arrival and departure. That's a very interesting question asked by member Selvraj.
Well, in its reply, the ministry answered in affirmative and said yes, a real-time train information system, that is RTIS, is being installed on the locomotives for automatic acquisition of train movement data, including that of arrival, departure and run-through timings at the stations en route. The control chart of trains hauled by RTIS enabled locomotives get plotted automatically in Control Office application or the COA system already implemented in the Controls Office. RTIS also gives mid-section location updates, including current speed of the train, with a periodicity of 30 seconds. The train controllers can now track location and speed of RTIS, enable locomotives or trains more closely without any manual intervention, facilitating the train control functions. The RTIS programs is being executed by Centre for Railway Information System, which is an information technology arm of Ministry of Railways in collaboration with Indian Space Research Organisation, or the ISRO. Continuing in the reply, the minister said the installation of RTIS device in 2,649 passengers and goods train locomotives has been completed till 20th November 2019. Moving on, the next question was asked by the member Kanta Kaddam, and her question was from the Ministry of Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution. The question was whether procurement centres have been established to procure agricultural products at minimum support price.
The answer given by the government is in affirmative, and the government goes on to say that the Food Corporation of India and also the state government agencies established procurement centres for paddy, rice and wheat before onset of procurement season, keeping in view the procurement potential and geographical spread of the state concerned. Large number of temporary purchase centres, in addition to the existing mandis and depots or godowns, are also established at key points for the convenience of the farmers. The government further says that procurement is made on minimum support price, which is notified each year. The MSP for RMS 2019-20 was 1840 rupees per quintal, and MSP for paddy rice for KMS 2019-20 was 1815 rupees per quintal and rupees 1835 per quintal for grade A. The government further says that coarse grains are procured by state governments as per the procurement plan prepared in consultation with FCI and approved by the central government. Let's move on to the last question of this edition of Question Hour, and this one has been asked by member Dharmapuri Srinivas and pertains to the Ministry of Chemicals and Fertilizer. And Mr. Srinivas has asked whether it is a fact that the government has launched AUSHADHI YOJANA to make available quality drugs at affordable prices.
Well, in its answer, the ministry said yes, with the objective of making quality generic medicines available at affordable prices to all. Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana, that is PMBJP, was launched by Department of Pharmaceuticals, Ministry of Chemical and Fertilizers, Government of India. Under this scheme, dedicated retail outlets known as Jan Aushadhi Kendra are open to sell quality generic medicines at very affordable rates. As on 25th November 2019, that is this year, 5,803 Jan Aushadhi Kendras are functional across the country. PM BJP has covered 689 districts of the country, and the target is to cover all the districts of the country by 31st March 2020, that is by next year.
So those were the important questions and answers in this edition of Question Hour. Thanks for watching, but on the other side, we'll have Prashn Kal in Hindi with our colleagues Arvind Singh and Kriti Singh. Don't go anywhere.
Thank you.